The star that wrote letters. Once in a sky filled with countless twinkling stars, there was one very small, very curious star named Stella. Stella wasn't like the other stars who simply sparkled and shined each night. She had a secret wish. She wanted to communicate with the world below. Stella thought, what if someone on that blue and green planet wants to hear from me? What if I could send a message? Every evening, as the sun dipped behind the horizon and the night wrapped the world in gentle darkness, Stella watched the earth with wide-eyed wonder. She saw forests rustling with wind, oceans shimmering under moonlight, and cities glowing with lights. But most of all, she watched children who pointed at the stars and made wishes, who told stories about constellations, who dreamed big dreams. Stella longed to answer them. She wanted to tell them about the adventures she had in the sky, about the comets racing past, and the quiet moments when the moon hummed lullabies. But how could a star reach across the vastness of space and speak to a child? One night, as Stella listened to the whispers of a little girl named Mia, who wished for a friend among the stars, an idea sparkled within her. I'll write letters, Stella thought, but not with paper and pen. I'll use the light I shine. Stella practiced. She blinked her light in patterns, hoping someone would notice. At first, her messages were simple. A quick twinkle for hello, a long flash for good night. But soon, Stella learned to shape her light into more elaborate patterns. She invented her own language of glimmers and gleams, each combination a unique message sent toward Earth. Down below, Mia watched the stars every night from her bedroom window. She noticed Stella's unusual twinkling. Sometimes, the little star blinked 3 times quickly, then paused, then shone steadily. Mia wondered if the star was trying to talk to her. She started jotting down the patterns in her notebook, determined to decode them. The more Mia observed, the more she realized there was a rhythm to Stella's flashes. She began to feel as if the star was writing her letters, letters made of light. She shared her discovery with her best friend Ethan, who was fascinated. Together, they spent evenings comparing notes, trying to guess what Stella was saying. Maybe she's saying hello, Ethan suggested one clear night. Or maybe she's telling us a story, Mia replied, her eyes bright with excitement. Stella watched the children, delighted to see her messages were reaching them. She started sending more. Stories about the Great Bear constellation, riddles about the planets, and gentle encouragements for brave dreams. Sometimes, she blinked a pattern that meant, you are loved. Other times, she shined in a way that said, don't give up. Word spread among the children in Mia's neighborhood. Soon, more kids gathered to watch the sky, waiting for Stella's nightly letters. They invented games, trying to decode her messages, sharing their own dreams with the twinkling star. One evening, when Mia was feeling sad after a difficult day, she looked up and saw Stella shining brighter than ever. The star blinked a comforting pattern, long, slow flashes, followed by a gentle, steady glow. Mia felt a warmth in her heart, as if Stella was hugging her from afar. Inspired, Mia wrote her own letter back. She couldn't send it to the sky, but she kept it under her pillow, hoping somehow Stella would know. Stella did feel it. Stars sense wishes and dreams, and that night, Stella shined with extra joy, knowing her light had made a difference. As the seasons passed, Stella became famous among the children. They called her the star that wrote letters. Stories grew about her magical messages. Some said she was the guardian of nighttime dreams. Others believed she was a friend to every child who ever wished upon a star. One night, a new child named Leo moved into the neighborhood. He felt lonely and missed his old friends. Mia introduced him to Stella's letters in the sky. Together, the children watched, deciphered, and imagined what Stella was saying. Leo soon felt connected, as if the star was welcoming him into their circle. Stella's messages became more elaborate. She blinked riddles about the planets, shared facts about faraway galaxies, and even sent tiny jokes that made the children laugh. Sometimes her patterns encouraged kindness. Share your smile, she would blink. Other times, she reminded them to be curious. Ask questions. Wonder. On a special night, Stella blinked a pattern that none of the children could decode. They puzzled over it for days. Mia finally realized it was an invitation. Make your own constellation. The children gathered, laying out flashlights in the grass to mimic stars, creating shapes of animals, letters, and hearts. Stella watched, sparkling with delight, as the children created their own night sky stories. As time went on, Stella taught the children that messages can be sent in many ways. Through light, through kindness, through shared dreams. One evening, as Mia grew older, she looked up at Stella and smiled. She remembered all the times Stella's letters had comforted her, encouraged her, and inspired her to dream. Mia realized that the star's greatest message was this: even across the vastness of space, connection is possible. A heart can reach a heart, a dream can spark another, and even a tiny star can make a big difference. Stella became a legend in the neighborhood, and children everywhere began watching the night sky, hoping to catch a glimpse of her special letters. They learned to look for patterns, to wonder, to imagine, and most of all, to believe that magic can be found in even the smallest, brightest spark. But the story didn't end there. One winter night, as snow gently fell, the children gathered with their families for a stargazing picnic. They bundled up in warm coats and scarves, sipping hot cocoa and pointing to their favorite stars. Mia, now a little older, led the group in a game. Let's write our own letters to Stella. What would you say if you could send a message to the stars? Children wrote notes on colorful paper, each letter filled with hopes, questions, and dreams. Some asked about adventures in space, others wished for happiness and peace, and a few simply said thank you to Stella for her nightly encouragement. That night, as the letters were read aloud, Stella shined with extra brilliance. Her twinkling seemed to dance in response to the children's words, as if she was reading each letter and sending back her love. Mia closed her eyes and made a silent wish. May every child feel heard, no matter how far away their dreams may seem. Stella's light glimmered gently, blinking a pattern that meant, "Your wish is safe with me." Years passed, and the tradition continued. Each winter, families gathered to write letters to Stella, sharing their stories and dreams. And every night, Stella wrote back, her patterns growing more intricate, her light reaching more hearts. Children grew, but the magic remained. Mia became a storyteller, sharing Stella's tale with kids across the land. She taught them to look for patterns of kindness, to share their light, and to believe in the power of connection. And somewhere high above, Stella watched and listened, her tiny spark shining brighter with every dream sent her way. For in the vast sky, where billions of stars glitter, there is one who writes letters. The star that wrote letters reminds us all. Every light matters, every message is heard, and every child, everywhere, has a friend among the stars. The end.